Run towards your fear. Run towards it, like there is nothing else. And you will overcome fear. There are some very nice stories about fear in Zen teaching. This one is about the fear of death. So once upon a time, during the civil wars in feudal Japan, an invading army would quickly sweep into a town and take control. But in one particular village, everyone fled just before the army arrived. Everyone except the Zen master. Curious about this old fellow, the general of the invading army went to the temple to see for himself what kind of man this master was. When he wasn't treated with the submissiveness to which he was accustomed, the general burst into anger. "You fool," he shouted as he reached for his sword. "Don't you realize you are standing before a man who could run you through without blinking an eye?" But despite the threat, the master seemed unmoved. "And do you realize," the master replied calmly, "that you are standing before a man who can be run through without blinking an eye?" There's another good Zen story about fear. So once upon a time, a Zen master and a few friends had gathered, and they were eating and talking, when suddenly there was an earthquake. The building that they were sitting in was a 7-story building, and they were on the 7th story, so life was in danger. Everybody tried to escape. The host, running by, looked to see what had happened to the master. He was there with not even a ripple of anxiety on his face. With closed eyes, he was sitting on his chair as he had been sitting before. The host felt a little guilty. He felt a little cowardly. It does not look good that a guest is sitting there and the host is running away. The other 20 guests had already gone down the stairs, but he stopped himself, although he was trembling with fear, and he sat down by the side of the master. The earthquake came and went. The master opened the eyes and started his conversation, which because of the earthquake he had to stop. He continued again at exactly the same sentence, as if the earthquake had not happened at all. The host was now in no mood to listen. He was in no mood to understand, because his whole being was so troubled and he was so afraid. Even though the earthquake had gone, the fear still was there, and he said, "Now don't say anything, because I will not be able to grasp it. I am not myself anymore. The earthquake had disturbed me too much. But there is one question I would like to ask you. All other guests had escaped. I was also on the stairs, almost running, when suddenly I remembered you. Seeing you sitting there with closed eyes, sitting so undisturbed, so unfazed, I felt a little cowardly. I am the host, I should not run. So I came back and I have been sitting by your side. I would like to ask you one question. We all tried to escape. What happened to you? What do you say about the earthquake?" And the master replied, "I also escaped, but you escaped outwardly. I escaped inwardly. Your escape is useless, because wherever you are going, there too is an earthquake. So it is meaningless, it makes no sense. You may reach the 6th or 5th floor of the building, but there too is an earthquake. I escaped to a point within me where no earthquake ever reaches. Cannot reach. I entered my center. If you are passive, by and by, you will become aware of the center within you. You can remain in the world and out of it, because you are always in touch with your center. You can move in an earthquake and stay unfazed, because nothing touches you. You see, in life, in your life, whenever you face fear, remember those 2 stories. The only place in the world that can save you from fear is your center, is within you. So look inward and not outward. And be the legend that you are. Stay blessed, and thank you so much for watching.